All right. Welcome, everyone. Thank you all so much for coming to a Main Street Matters webinar. My name is Patrick Kaiser. I am the Executive Director of Heart on Main Street. Heart on Main Street is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping independent retailers evolve their businesses and thrive within their local communities. This is a monthly webinar series where we aim to connect independent retailers and community organizations to experts within their field so that they can learn from the valuable wealth of knowledge that they bring. All of our previous webinars are located on our website, which is heartonmainstreet.org. You can find any webinar that we've done. I think we have over 30 different webinars that we've covered on a wide range of topics. You can find them all there, as well as sign up for our upcoming webinars through there as well. Today, my guest is Samantha Connor, the Director of Wholesale from the Boutique Hub. Samantha, thank you so much for joining today.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Samantha has a wide background in retail, everything from the wholesale side to the retail side, and now working with marketing and running events and doing different things for the Boutique Hub. She is dedicated to helping small businesses thrive with strategic resources and community engagement. She has been instrumental in organizing key events such as the Boutique Hub's Pink Friday, which we are going to be talking about today, provides valuable opportunities for retailers to connect and grow with each other within the industry. So again, Samantha, thank you for being on. We're very excited to learn about Pink Friday and how retailers can help celebrate that and be a part of it this year.
Yes, yeah. Well, I'm really excited about it because what happens in October really sets the stage for what happens in January. And so what we're doing now and how we're closing out the year and the way that we're interacting with our customers is really going to be kind of those leading indicators for the success that we can predict, that we can hope for in January. Yes, yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah. So Samantha, let's kick it off. We're talking about Pink Friday, which is the Friday before Black Friday, which I always love getting people to shop local before they're shopping at the big Black Friday deals. So I'll turn it over to you and tell us about Pink Friday and how our retailers and communities can be involved in Pink Friday.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Well, a really great way to kick it off is what if we could meet our goals for Q4 and get those dollars in our store before Black Friday even hits? And so what I'm going to do today is really emphasize two things that you need for success in Q4, and that's you need a plan and you need a partner. And Pink Friday is going to provide both of those. And so if you just think about those two things you need to be successful, a plan and a partner. So before I kick off with the slides, I'm always interested on who's here and kind of tailoring my information for you. So if you could let me know what kind of retail store you have, if you're online, if you're brick and mortar, and then what are the products that you sell. This information I'm going to be sharing today works for both online stores and for those brick and mortar. And then inside the Boutique Hub, if you're not familiar with us, we work with people of all kinds of retail products. So if you're a product-based business, we've got resources and education for you. So pet stores, quilt stores, puzzle stores, women's apparel stores, children's, amazing. We touch them all. Okay, so I'm seeing some people come in. Carolyn, you are the chamber and you promoted Pink Friday for years. Thank you so much.
All right.
That. I'm seeing Davy Co. is coming in too. We got Work for Main Street, a brick and mortar indie bookstore. That's amazing.
Love them.
Yes, a pet store, okay, a business association, home decor and gift, retail's women's. Okay, so this is a really good eclectic group, and this is perfect, the perfect audience for Pink Friday. So let me share my presentation so you guys can see the things that I'm looking at. What I'm going to do today is walk you through Pink Friday, show you the opportunities, and then we're really going to focus on what is manageable and doable for you right now. And as you're watching this, I'll let you know at the very end, I do have a QR code where you can download all the slides. So if you want to take notes, you can, but if you just want to sit back and listen and enjoy and relax, I invite you to do that as well. And once I have the slides up, I will tell you, I can't see the questions then, so I'll just take a breath.
I will monitor that for you. Perfect. So yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's see. Let me get our Pink Friday slides up, and we will go here, and then we will present. So there.
People coming in the chat, love an active chat, ask questions, comment on things. Always love that. So love watching everyone tell us where they're from.
Yes, yeah, that makes it a lot more fun. Just to kind of give you guys some background, I live in Grapevine, Texas, which is near the DFW airport. So if you've been to Dallas Market before to source inventory or product, I'm just about 20 minutes away from that. And I live very near a main street. And so it's always interesting to me when I think about Pink Friday, I think about my main street and how that would work in my community. But I want to also plant the idea of you don't have to be on a main street to make Pink Friday work for you. You can be online. You can be someone maybe that's an Etsy shop or a standalone, any product-based business, this program will work for you. So I challenge you to save the date. It's November 21st. Like Patrick said, that's the Friday before Black Friday. And the idea really for Pink Friday came about in 2020. You guys remember when COVID was happening and a lot of the big box stores got to stay open and our independent stores had to close. There was different rules and regulations for what we were doing in the small space. And so we started Pink Friday to drive awareness for small independent retailers. And then since then, we've expanded the program to not only do we want people to know about you and to want to support you, but we want to give you the skills so that you can be really profitable during Q4. And you can use this time when there's kind of a spotlight on your business to really make it profitable for you. So we're going to stop guessing and start selling more. Throughout this, like I said, I've got QR codes for you to sign up for Pink Friday. And then at the very end, you'll be able to download the slides. All right, let's get going. So if you're not familiar with the Boutique Hub before, the Boutique Hub has been around for 12 years. We have a permanent showroom in Dallas and Atlanta, and then we attend all 5 of the Magic apparel shows. So we serve the home and gift space. We serve that apparel space. And then through our other programs like Boutique Hub Black, we are serving independent retailers of all kinds through our marketing programs. But to really break it down, when you think about your business, like we said, you need a plan and you need a partner. And so if you ever wish there was just like a rule book, right? It's kind of like when you were raising your kids and you're like, if there was just a book that would tell me everything I needed to know, it'd be so much easier. And what we found is that the Boutique Hub is kind of like your boutique university online. And we break down those lessons and those core things you need to know to help you scale and grow. And then we bring in all the new because we know that our atmosphere and our ecosystem is changing all the time when it comes to independent retail. All right, so let's get started. So when I paint the picture of Pink Friday, like we said, it's the Friday before Black Friday, but I always like to start with that goal and that vision in your business. Imagine that on Black Friday weekend, when you opened your doors, there was no pressure because you had already met your sales goals. You'd already crushed it before that Black Friday and that big Christmas push even started. And that's what Pink Friday can do. It provides you with visibility to the consumers. It provides you with marketing ideas, and then it helps you with strategies to increase your sales. The power of Pink Friday is in the numbers. So we know that there's nothing more powerful than a community, just like the Heart on Main community, the Boutique Hub community. When we get together and our voices all come as one, we can sing really loud. And so what this is doing is this reminds our communities that we are the ones that have been there all year round, right? Like in your town, when someone needed a donation for the PTA, or somebody needed someone to sponsor the Little League jerseys, or somebody needed something for the raffle basket. If they went to Walmart or Target, they were turned down. But we know if they came to your store, you found a way to help them. And so this is the time to remind our communities of, remember us. Remember, we're the ones that were here for you all year long. We want you to show up for us now. And this really helps amplify that message of getting the community to rally behind you and for you to really shine and tell them why you're here and the purpose of your store and what you offer. So the big thing with Pink Friday is we want to get visibility and buzz for your store. When it comes down to Q4, we know that we need to hit a goal, right? We're at the end of the year, we're at the end of our race. The year has been like a marathon, with the tariffs and everything else that happened. We start off the year very hopeful, thinking it was going to be pretty easy. And we've had some bumps in the road, and that's okay. But we're ending the final stretch. So I feel like we can kind of see the finish line in front of us. But we need help, crossing with our arms up, waving in victory, not stumbling across in sorrow. So the ways that we can do that is we can get visibility for the store. And we can do that with Pink Friday, and I'll show you how. We can get shoppers to come shop with you first before they spend the dollars with the big box store. And then you can also build your community by joining together with all of these other boutiques to turn Pink Friday into, the best day of the year or the best weekend of the year. Patrick, one of the questions I get about Pink Friday as we talk about it, people say, what does it have to do with pink? Why is it called Pink Friday?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
Why not red? Why not? Yeah.
Right. Yes. Yeah. And as you guys may have noticed, the Boutique Hub, our logo is pink. And so we've always used that as kind of like our stop sign for people to shop small, is that pink logo, but it doesn't have anything to do with pink. So if you're a pet store and you say pink doesn't feel really on brand for me, or maybe my puzzle store says, I don't really know about pink. Pink Friday just really means shop small, support small first. And so some stores will host a Pink Friday event on that day, on November 21st, and they may make their whole store pink. But you could also host a party and an event, something in your store, an activation that has nothing to do with the pink, but it's just the idea of, I want my community to support me. I'm creating an event for people to come and shop together. All right. Yes. Yeah. So how do you get started? So the easy and the best thing about this whole plan that I'm going to tell you is that it's absolutely free. So usually when you start on something like this, where someone says, you just need a plan and a partner, and it's only going to cost you X amount of dollars, this is free. And that's why I think this partnership with Heart on Main works so well, because we have the heart of the retailer in mind. And we created a toolbox with all of the marketing, promotions, letter to your Chamber of Commerce, creative ideas, Pinterest boards, done for you graphics. Every single thing you need to do is included inside. And what it does is it helps you create a day or a weekend before Black Friday where shoppers are going to come and visit you and shop with you. And that's it. And so it's super easy. So you're going to sign up. As soon as you sign up for Pink Friday, it opens up into where you get access to the actual screen that has all the documents in it as far as the resources. And then also, if you're, right now you're on this webinar, so I don't want you to go over there and do that just yet, but you can get an email as well. And so that'll save that link for you so you can work on those resources later. And then after that, you just follow the plan. So circle November 21st on your calendar. And that's going to be the day. It could be that Friday, or you could turn it into a whole weekend where you are going to host something in your store to get your community, to get your buyers. You could do this online, excited about shopping with you. It's not about running a bunch of sales and discounts and, cutting into your margins. It's about creating that experience that you guys are known for and getting your customers, your audience excited to buy presents, buy gifts, buy things for themselves from you for the holiday season. All right, Patrick, how are we doing on questions?
We're good on questions. You had mentioned partnership with the Heart of Main Street. I don't know if you're going to touch on later, or can we talk a little of that right now?
I'll let you tease it, but I do have a whole slide.
Okay. All right. Well, then we'll just let it tease then.
Okay. We'll just tease. There is a good partnership coming up. So as soon as you opt into saying, yes, I'm interested in Pink Friday, tell me all the things. What am I going to get in this kit? So once you opt in for Pink Friday, like I said, it opens up. This is a breakdown of each lesson. As you can see, there's these 8 squares here, or rectangles. Each one of these opens up into something you could either download and print. You could share it with your team, and you can make your plan. So the idea is, I know the goal that I want to hit for Q4. What are the steps that I need to take to be successful? And we go back to, to be successful in life and anything, we always need, a plan. Where are we going? And then someone to encourage us and show us the route. And that's our partner. And so Pink Friday, this toolbox, will be your partner during the holiday season. And we've laid out all the things that happen that you need to be thinking about. And I want to encourage you too, is don't get overwhelmed by doing everything. If this is your very first year to hear about Pink Friday or do Pink Friday, you're going to see a ton of ideas. And sometimes we get that analysis paralysis where it just seems like too many things. So I'd say at the very least, if this is your first year, sign up and then pick one thing. And maybe it's just to tell the story of your boutique or your store to your customers again. Maybe it's getting on Facebook or Instagram. Maybe it's sending out an email and just reminding them of who you are, telling your story. Why was your store founded? How long has it been in business? Who are you? Why does their support matter? And you could do that and you would be done. And then if you're further down the road, then we'll explore some of those other things. But just at the very minimum, make sure that you're using this to remind customers of who you are and where you're located. All right. So these are some of the testimonials, and I'm going to share these throughout because I just think it's so interesting to hear from people who have held a shop local first, shop small first event in their store. Most of the people that participate in Black Friday have told us it is their number one day in sales.
Mm.
And I'll tell you, it's the kit is great, but it's not just the kit. It's because when you focus and get really excited about something in your store, it does really well. It's where you focus that time and attention. And we know that this time of year, there's more people that are looking to shop than ever. There's a ton of people online all the time looking at your products. There's a ton of people probably walking by your storefront, coming in and out, but they've never been as motivated to buy as they are now. So if you can capture that attention and capture that energy and capture those dollars and really put it in place of a really well organized store event or online event on November 21st, you can definitely have the best sales day of the year. I guarantee it. All right, let's look a little bit more about what's inside.
Because
We're
people are
doing good.
already, I mean, they're already looking, sorry to cut in, but they're already looking at, their holiday shopping and their holiday buying. Black Friday gives a reason but they're already looking at that. So if you can give that reason beforehand, they're wanting to spend for the holidays already.
Yes, yeah, they've got to get that gift, and so there's so many things that we see. I was on a call this morning and talking about, how do you engage with your customers now? A good idea, Patrick, is as you're getting people to come in the store now, make sure you're collecting email addresses from your
Mm.
customers. And sometimes, sometimes if you're like, well, I don't want to ask for that, it seems personal. You know what the easiest way to get an email address is? If you put a clipboard on your cash wrap with a pen and say, put your email address here. For some reason, when there's a clipboard and a pen, people will just pick it up and fill it out without even like a second thought. You don't even have to ask. It's like a psychological cue of like, here's a piece of paper. I must write my name on here. So that's a good way to get those email addresses. That can help with the marketing that happens later because then you have people to send email blasts to, you have people to run ads to, you're just increasing your audience size. So I would say that would be a good thing to do right now. I read something today that said that those Amazon Prime days are the kickoff of the holiday shopping season. And so that is yesterday and today. So as
Yep.
that wraps up, then people are going to, start hitting the stores and they're starting to get in that vibe. I know Patrick said he's starting to get fall weather. So that
Oh yeah.
buzz starts coming. So make sure that you're grabbing their email addresses and that'll help you with implementing Pink Friday because you'll have more people, in your audience and in your circle. All right, so some of the things that I wanted to show you that are inside, step-by-step guides. I'm really big on these because we can talk about really big ideas and we can use all those buzzwords of like blow out your Q4, sales goals and all those things. But then we get down to like, but how? Like, what exactly do I need to do? And so we've broken that down inside the Pink Friday guides to help you with what should the marketing look like? How should you build your collections? If you're going to have an in-store event, what are the things that you need to have, all the way down to thinking of extra staffing, looking at the amount of inventory you have. Do you have enough changing rooms if you're somebody that's got apparel and you're going to inviting 40 people in your store? How are you going to manage that piece? All those other things that make for smooth events. We've worked out those details for you. And so like we said, you can save time, avoid mistakes, just give you a really clear path to follow. If you're an online store, we are talking to you too. There's a lot of ways to do Pink Friday online. We see a lot of people doing gift bundles. You can increase average order value, and we've got this all laid out inside the toolbox. Increase average order value by having tiered discounts once they hit a certain threshold. So even if you don't have a brick and mortar store, there's definitely ways for you to be a part of this event. And like we said, people are shopping in person, they're shopping online. This applies to you as well. And you can make this just as successful as a brick and mortar. So there's spots for you guys as well. One of the coolest things about Pink Friday is, I mentioned you get this whole toolkit. And so I always think about like this big pink toolkit that you guys are opening up and kind of going through, but you also get your boutique or your store blasted out to the consumer. So it's one thing for me to like tell you all these things that you can do in your store and then tell you go out and find more customers. But the other thing is, wouldn't it be great if we helped you get customers? And so we do that through our Shop Small First map. So this was the map from last year. And this shows you, and I don't even know how many dots are in a dot, but how far reaching Pink Friday is. And so when you register, you noticed probably that it asked you for your store location. Once you enter that, then you show up on the Pink Friday map. And then the Boutique Hub takes it upon themselves to market this out to consumers. If you guys aren't aware, one of the ways that we network and communicate inside that Boutique Hub is through Facebook groups. And we have a group called Shop the Best Boutiques. And it's full of home and gift stores, apparel stores, children's stores, and it's consumer facing. So you as a retailer can list your shop in there and your products, and you can do all those things. And that's all in conjunction with this Shop Small First map. So you want to get on the map, and then you want to get your products in front of customers, because there's people that are going to be traveling to your town for the holidays that are probably thinking, does anybody know a really good store in Grapevine, Texas? And then if they type in Grapevine, Texas on this map, it will populate all those stores that have signed up for Pink Friday. And something I do want to mention about this too is if you do have an online website, and Patrick, I came on, I think it was a couple months ago, and we talked about how to improve your SEO,
Yes.
which is showing up right for Google. If you sign up for Pink Friday, then your website, your www.shopsmallfirstboutique, or whatever the name of your boutique is, Pink Pineapple, whatever it is, will show up on the Boutique Hub's website. Well, that's great because the Boutique Hub has credibility with Google because we've been around for 12 years and we've built up all these other links. And so Google sees us as reputable. So having your website on our website gives you more authority with Google. And all that simply means is you start moving up that chutes and ladders game with Google, and you can rank higher on page when you have backlinks like this. This is a backlink strategy, if you guys have ever heard about that. So this is another perk. So we're giving you the plan. We're helping you get in front of customers, and then we're also building up your backlink strategy so that Google recognizes you easier, and Google makes it easier for people to find you and shop with you. All right. So home and gift, this is for you guys too. We talk about this, that it doesn't matter what kind of store you are as long as you're a product-based store. And so this works for, like we said, home and gift, for apparel, children's, pet stores. We've got you. And I love reading these because when people put so much work into one day and to make it a great day and to really shine the spotlight on their store, it's so great to see the sales come in. And like we said, it just takes a lot of pressure off. And then the other part of it is that it really builds up your customer base for heading into the new year, which is so important because we know that the inventory we're selling now, we're going to take that money and reinvest it when we go to the January gift market, the January apparel market. And so we need to end really on a high note, and we need to end with as many new customers as possible so that when we start the year, we have more people to sell to. And we want to make sure that we're able to sell to the people in our town, and then the people surrounding areas, and then the people across the country. And you can do that, like we said, when you make that connection with them with their email address, and then you're able to, reach them via, maybe if you guys are doing newsletters, your social media posts, and then of course those paid ads as well.
I love this quote. That is just like, you can feel the emotion that she had while writing that. That I feel like we've all been through those days where it's just like, I'm exhausted. I'm, what is the long term? And then you see it and you get it. And like, this is the reason why I do this. And she locked the door and it's just like, oh my God, this was an amazing day. That's an amazing quote.
Yeah, it really is. And I'm like, I'd be interested, like I said, I can't see the poll right now, but I'd be interested in how many of you have had that moment this year where you were like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep doing this. I don't know, right? Like whether it's I'm just tired or the money's not there or my staff isn't showing up. I feel like I'm alone. And this is really to kind of light your fire again and make you remember why you did it, because this will help you be successful. And that's why we did it, right? It was to serve customers through our products and through that in-store experience or online experience. So just amazing. The other thing that is amazing about Pink Friday, like we said, was you got the map. So we're going to be shown to customers. We've got the plan. And then the other part that we noticed that some people said, what I really would love is if you make all my graphics for me. And, Patrick, when we look at running a business, there's so many of those little tiny tasks that start to chip away at your day when it comes into minutes and hours. And sometimes when it's not like, in your wheelhouse, it's frustrating to do. So we've created all of the graphics that you need. So the one on the left that has the countdown, we have the full countdown series. So you can use those and, remind people, 5 days till Pink Friday, 4 days, and do the whole countdown with them. And then also this one over here, I think is a great one, when I shop at the local store. And it's kind of like that mantra of why do we shop small? And when you post this kind of content, this is the kind of things that get reposted. And, we know that likes and reposts don't pay mortgages or staff's salaries, but what they do is they increase our reach, increase our brand awareness. And so the more people that know about you and know what you sell and know who you are and where you're located, the more that you can build up that customer base. And, when we grow a business, we grow it two ways. We either need more customers or we need the customers we have to buy more. And so these are things that help engage with our customers and remind them where we are, who we are, what we have. So all of that's done for you. You can literally download those. We made them in Canva. We love Canva. If you wanted to put your own logo in the corner, of, like I said, Pink Pineapple Boutique or whatever the name of your store is, we definitely encourage you to do that and say, take it and use it as you will. All right, women's and kids stores. Here's another one. This works for you guys. Blown away, she said, participating in Pink Friday for the first time. And then she also had the best numbers on her live. For those of you that are doing live selling, when we talk about live selling, Patrick, it's changed so much. It used to be very much like you get up and you say, this is item 3459. It's such dollars. Now just live video is literally like doing what I'm doing right now with you, just getting on and talking. And we have found that Facebook rewards that kind of content. It's that short form video. When I say rewards, it means Facebook will show it to a wider audience than it ever has in the past. So I encourage you this holiday season, even if it makes you super uncomfortable, is to get on video and do some short form video where you're just talking. Maybe you're telling about your store. Maybe you're doing a store tour. Maybe you're introducing your staff. If you've got a dog in your store, that's always great content. Show that.
Doing a craft or something, so that maybe you're not even having to talk to the camera the entire time. You can do your thing and it's just going on. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. We have a brand inside the boutique hub. She makes candles. And that same thing. She was petrified to go live. And she said, I'm just going to pour candles. And so I've sat there and watched, and I'm like, for some reason, I'll watch that for 30 minutes. It's very interesting.
People like that content. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But, we always talk about like, how are we creating content? Is it getting used? If I put the effort into it. So that would be I'd say a personal challenge for me to you is to do some kind of short form video and get that up there because like I said, Facebook will reward you with eyes because as we all know, Facebook's ultimate goal in life is to keep as many people on Facebook as possible. And we know that people like to watch video. And so, as you get those things going on in your store, and it could even be like when you said doing tasks, I've watched a lady hang and steam clothes. Yeah. I've watched somebody merchandise a beautiful home and gift, table and things, or somebody decorate a Christmas tree. All of those things just make for great content. Yep. All right. So when we say Pink Friday sets you up for success, we're like, what do you get? What do you get? What do you get? So like we said, you're getting all of these things built into the toolkit. So the Facebook event, this is a huge thing. When you get invited to that Facebook event, you get put in a group with other retailers that have opted into Pink Friday. And that's the power of the community, just like the Heart on Main community, like how we're gathered here today and we're sharing ideas and we're talking, listening and talking to other people that are in the same shoes as you. Some people may be further along their journey. Some people may just be starting out, but you guys can get tips and collaborate. We do have wholesale discounts too. If you guys didn't know, the Boutique Hub owns a wholesale platform called Hubventory. And it is wholesale brands that have been vetted by our team. We believe in, markets first and shopping, with a rep. We talk about reps are local too, and supporting them. And Hubventory is something that is a great way to shop in between markets if you can't go or if you want to do some brand exploration. It's a good opportunity there. We've got the Shop the Best Boutiques Facebook group, which I told you about, where you can post your deals. You're going to get listed on the map. Your kit has the digital marketing materials and the press release. And then you're going to also can be featured in our shopper gift guides. This is a big one, Vistaprint. I don't know how much money you guys are spending on printing, but through this, you can save about 50% on your printing for the holiday season. And then we have some graphics already made for you. So if you want to put any like signage or decals in your store window that say, Pink Friday, shop small first, support small first, we've got those made up for you already. And then, of course, that event planning checklist. So all this is included. all of it's for free, because when we think about independent retail, we know we're stronger together, and this is such an important part of communities and of, really the thread of our economy is what you guys are doing. You're doing important work. You're employing people in your town. You're having U.S. dollars spent in the U.S. And so this is really part of that mission of the Boutique Hub. These are some of the brands that I was talking about you can shop with through the Boutique Hub on our wholesale platform, which is Hubventory. We have a lot of apparel, gifts, accessories, and we're adding more and more of that home and gift and children's segment every day. So whether you're looking for, gifts to put in swag bags, or you're wanting to order maybe some graphic t-shirts or some just extra things, this is a good opportunity. I was talking to a lady this morning who has a women's plus size boutique. And she said, I feel like a lot of people aren't buying apparel from me right now because they are buying gifts for other people. And because of her segment, she was like, no, plus size isn't, fit for everybody. So what we kind of brainstormed together and thought about was bringing in some more gift items that would be for anybody. And so if you haven't touched on some of those giftable things, like we said, like bags, beauty care, consumables, candles, this is the call out to that. And if you're already really heavy in that, then I would try adding some apparel pieces that don't require a dressing room. And maybe you're like a one size, so that if you're not somebody that's heavy in apparel yet, that's a good way to dip in your toes at this time of year, because like we said, there's more people shopping than ever. So now's a good time to kind of experiment with your product variety that you have. All right, this is your page. Patrick, I'm going to let you talk about it. I'm so excited about this. Yeah.
I'm very excited about this as well. And so, we've been a big supporter of Boutique Hub. Boutique Hub has been a big supporter of Heart on Main Street for several years. And so this year we decided, with Pink Friday, could we really do something together and make this have some fundraising element to it, and really be able to help Heart on Main Street's mission, which, if you're unfamiliar with Heart on Main Street, as a nonprofit organization, we donate our money that we raise to independent retailers that have been affected by natural disasters and help them rebuild their stores and reopen so they can remain a larger part of their community. So this year, the Boutique Hub and Heart on Main Street are partnering together in really for Pink Friday. And for every retailer, or really anyone that registers for Pink Friday, $1 will be donated to Heart on Main Street. So that money is going to go towards helping, again, retailers that have been affected by natural disasters. Something, no fault of their own. Their business has been severely impacted, and that they're hoping that they can reopen their doors and that they can rebuild their store. And so this is going to go a long way to helping us help other retailers. Samantha, I don't know if I missed anything in here, but and really, we are focusing on, especially this fall, the Texas Hill Country area of Ingram and Kerrville, and helping retailers in that area. But we've been doing a lot in the Southeast and really the West Coast as well so far this year.
Yeah, it's amazing. And that's what I would say is if I, I've said all these things and you're like, I don't need any of that. My holiday season's great. I'm good. Then I would say opt into Pink Friday just for this very reason, is that we do make a donation and we're matching those. And when we're looking for numbers bigger than we've ever had before, the more that, like I said, that we can make this a movement across the country, the more that we can shine a light on what these small boutiques are doing, what these small independent retailers are doing for communities, and really help that mission of Heart on Main.
Yeah. We're very thankful for the Boutique Hub support in that. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. So this is what I was thinking, Pink Friday or bust. When we look at the big hot pink bus, I would love to have a bus like that. But choose your level. So anything in life, we can look at, like, if you're just starting running, I wouldn't say you should sign up for a marathon. I would say, see if you can run a mile, and then we'd say, let's try for a 5K, and we would build our way up. And so that's the way that I look at with Pink Friday as well. We're all going to sign up because we want to make that donation. We want to get that matched and help Heart on Main and help those independent retailers across the U.S. But the next step that we want to do is, what is that level of commitment that you can do this year? And only you know that, but having these resources, even if you didn't use them all during Q4, maybe you use, some of those things that you learned from the Pink Friday toolkit to kick off your year. That's awesome. So I'd say level one, then that good is get signed up. When you sign up, it will automatically ask you for that information to put you on the map. You can be on the map if you're online, if you would like that location there, and you obviously will be on the map with your brick and mortar with that address. So that's step one. If you're like feeling pretty confident and you said, this is going to be my year to really, jump in with this, maybe you just heard about it, or maybe you're like, I've been hearing about it, I've wanted to do it. That better version would be sign up, get on the map, and then plan the event. Go ahead and plan it, and I always hear from people every year, they're like, what if nobody shows up? And we say, but what if they do show up, and even if you show up really big and it's a handful of people, maybe that's a handful more than you normally would have had on a Friday before Black Friday.
Yep.
And so build on it. So that's that better. And then the last one really is the best. And so that's sign up, get on the map, host an event. And then this is where I would really be looking to, I saw several people from the Chamber of Commerce's that were using Pink Friday or doing Pink Friday, get other people to collaborate with you. And so if you're on a main street, you can host, almost like a boutique crawl where several of you are hosting an event in one day. It makes it's a destination. If you're on a main street, maybe you're the only boutique, but then you've got a coffee shop, and maybe you've got a Pilates studio, and then you've got a shake place, and then maybe a home and gift store. You guys could all collaborate and make it like the same thing of where are things that we can do together. I've seen a lot of retailers too will collaborate maybe with like a local bakery or someone that can bring in food for their store for their event that day, which is always great. So those would be goals. And I'd say kind of just choose where you want to be this year. Look at, like we said, what are your sales goals? What is your capacity, staffing wise, time wise, planning wise, and do something that, is going to feel good to you. Because at the end of the day, we're looking for not only, like we said, blowing out goals, but really besides that, we want peace and profit. And that piece is really invaluable.
And for the community organizations, encourage the businesses within your town to be a part of this. Imagine getting all the businesses together and having Pink Friday, just the different events that are going on. More people coming into the shopping district area is good for everyone. They might explore more stores they haven't seen before, or go into the bakery, the coffee shop. More business, more people in the area will generate more business. So the more you can get the town involved, the more profitable everyone will be out of this.
Yeah, for sure. That's that whole community over competition, and
Absolutely.
whether one or more stores together, then it's a destination. You're making yourself a destination. Wonderful. So, the big thing, like we said, you don't have to figure it out alone. That's too hard. We're not going to do that. We're going to do it together. You've got your Heart on Main community. You've got the Boutique Hub community. You've got a plan. So you've got the partner and the plan already in place. Like I said, follow the playbook. Pick out the things that you want to do this year. And then, like I said, maybe some you're saving for next year, or maybe some you're saving for in-store events that are going to be happening throughout the year. But, like we said, the best action you can take is get signed up now. And then the rest of the things, like you said, you can plan and work out together. We talk about in the Boutique Hub all the time, do what you do best and hire the rest. So look even on your team, who else could you have that could help with this? Maybe if event planning is something that is not in your, wheelhouse or stresses you out, see who else on your team that could help with this, that could help you get content together, maybe could help you put some events together. Reach out to your wholesale partners. A lot of them like to give things that you could use for a raffle. Maybe they've got some things that they need to clear out, and you could use those to create bundles or have in-store swag. And then if you're going to market, I know Atlanta apparel's next week, and then October, Dallas is the following week. A lot of those vendors, like we said, that's end of season for them. So they're going to have a lot of closeouts. And so those closeouts work really well because your customer doesn't know that you bought it on sale. So you have a bigger opportunity for margin. So, like I said, lean into all your partners in all the areas and see how they can help you, even as much as like the swag bags. I know a lot of those vendors have bags. You think about like Two's Company or, in the apparel space, like Hidden. They give out market bags all the time. Ask them if they'd be willing to donate bags for you for your Pink Friday event. That would help increase their brand awareness. And then you could also use those as your swag bags. And look for, like we said, those margin builders too, to have in your store that you can bundle together and build up those thresholds so you can really increase that profitability. So like I said, here's your final call. Let's just save the date, November 21st, 2025. Shop small first. We want those dollars to hit the local areas before they hit national. Like I always tell everybody, I'm like, Amazon's going to be fine. I'm not worried about Amazon. I'm not worried about Walmart. I'm not worried about Target. They are going to stay in business. I want you to capture those dollars first. Those belong to you guys. You've supported your community for a long time. And we want to show up for you. So I'm going to end on this slide and we'll open up to Q&A. But if you scan this, then you will get the exact Canva download. And so you can go through it again. This would be great too. Like I said, if you're going to do it and you're like, great, I've got to educate my team, having this recording and then having the slides to share it with your team would be really helpful too. All right. So Patrick, let's talk about questions. We have any questions in the chat?
Yeah, let's see. So one just about whether or not this would be recorded. Yes, it will be recorded, and you all will receive a recording at the end of the day today. Yeah, I just as we're kind of going through some, if you have questions you want to type in, please do. Let me check Q&A here. Okay, question. All right. So, how far out in advance should retailers start planning for Pink Friday, and for if they want to do the event? What would you recommend as a time frame for that?
Yes, yeah. So I would start. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off now. It's been up for a little bit, so I can see everybody's face. What I would recommend doing there we go, is circling it, like I said, on the calendar, and then start working backwards. When we plan events inside the Boutique Hub, we always work backwards that way. One of the key things to making it successful is marketing it. I'd say that's a mistake we see made a lot. Is someone will say, well, I had an event, but then nobody came. And we say, well, did you tell them about it? And we know that it takes 8 to 12 repetitions of being shown or told something for it to stick. So what I would do right now, if I were you guys, I would sign up, mark it on the calendar, kind of start planning what staff you're going to need in store for that day or what that's going to look like. But then go onto your Facebook page for your boutique. And if you don't have one, now's a great time to make one and create an event. And that event should be Pink Friday, save the date, details to come. And then go through your list, and you can invite, I think, like 500 people in one swipe. Invite your followers to go ahead and opt into the event. And then what they can do then, once they say, yes, I'm going, and they click, I'm going to be there, then what that does, that spider webs that event out. So then their friends see they're going, and their friends see they're going, and their friends see they're going. And that'll help get the word out.
Yeah. That you might be interested in, this, blah, blah, blah is also attending.
Yes.
So,
yeah. I've seen those before. Yeah.
No,
like,
absolutely.
Oh,
yeah.
A church camp. Wow. That sounds great. Yes. Yeah.
And so, multiple touch points. So just having a flyer on your door, like, you need more than that. Be talking to it about your retailer, or to your customers. The Facebook events, more and more touch points will help more and more people. So you market it well.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And then that's part of it, is getting that, just the word out. And then, like, what is it going to make them come into the store? So we know once they get in the store, you guys are going to charm them. They're going to be, blown away by product selections and things. But what's something special you can do in store that day that you haven't done before that makes them go? And so, like I said, this is not about everything's going to be 50% off. Right. I'd say our hard and fast rule in the Boutique Hub is we don't ever do blanket sales. And then our joke is, unless you sell blankets, then you can put them on sale. But we don't do blanket sales. So we never say everything is this price off. What we want to do instead is create some kind of activation. So, is it candle pouring? Is it a succulent bar? Are they doing some kind of craft? I've seen, people have, like you were talking about, your daughter was young, of having like Santa come in store and having photos with Santa. That works really well. Cause I'm like, even just me saying that, you're like, oh, we do need to go see Santa. I would go into a store,
check it off the list. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And make sure any kind of photo op or any, thing like that you do have some kind of backdrop where your logo is present, because I can guarantee you, if Patrick gets a family photo with Santa and your logo is in that photo is going to be shared someplace. Your wife's going to put it on Facebook. It's going to go everywhere. And that name of that brand or that boutique is going to be everywhere. So those are good ways to get visibility and get them excited about coming to your store. Like we said, and if you can't personally, you're like, I don't know a Santa, I don't do succulent bars. That's when we reach out to other people in our area. Is there a local nursery that would do great with, like some poinsettia bar? Stocking stuffer bars are huge. And that works in home and gift, children's, women's as well, where you have the stocking and then you have a bunch of product and they can, kind of it's like an Easter basket, fill the bag, fill the stocking. That one works really well. Permanent jewelry is still going really well. We saw fine line temporary tattoos really hit. Wow. Yes. And then okay. Charm bars. We're putting charms on shoes, in your hair, on your bags, on your neck, anywhere we can put a charm, the charm is going. And that happened as well with scarves. So if you guys, I don't know if you've heard of a Twilly scarf, it's a really skinny scarf. Those can be worn around the neck. I've got a tied one right now with a charm on it. You can put on your bag, on your purse, on your boots. And so there's just endless opportunities there. So just something special. People, well, like I said, will have family in town. They're looking to create memories, and I'd say more than what they bought from you, they're going to remember how you made them feel. And if they got to do something really fun or special in the store, like you would never forget taking your daughter to, whatever boutique and getting the photo of Santa. Like that's a lifetime memory. So that builds a repeat customer.
So I was going to ask, what types of promotions or events have done well that you've seen, but
Yeah.
it sounds like getting people to do something, a craft, or get tattoos, sure, or
That's where your store is. Yeah.
it depends, absolutely, but just the customers, but and maybe not a store-wide sale, but maybe a category, or you bring in something special for that you maybe wouldn't have as a product, but normally.
Yes, yeah, and those special things. And then too, people are looking for gifts. So like with the gift for teacher, like if you go ahead and solve that problem for me, and I know I can go in and you
Mhm.
got, maybe a candle bundled with, a lip chap and, like a little compact, like a mirror or something, and it's all wrapped up in the cellophane, has a bow on it, or it has the tag. I'm thanking you a million times because you've solved a problem for
Yep.
me. So, what are those things? And then building out really cute collections of gifts. Like we said, the gift for the hostess, the gift for, dads. If you haven't have brought product in for men, this is a good time to test it, because women are going to be shopping and they've got to get a present for the guy. And so there's a lot of really great, I'm even thinking about in Dallas and Atlanta as well, those gift showrooms, that have those men's brands. So now's a good time to bring in things for them as well, because they're going to be looking for those for their husbands. And really, like we said, it's going to be a lot of women out shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, while it's before Thanksgiving, I mean, the holiday shopping is still very much going on. So, kind of keeping in mind there's a lot of hosting. You mentioned that. The teacher presents I love. Yeah, I'm even thinking the postal workers, presents for them. People are wanting to check off the list of the holiday shopping that I need to do. I mean, it's already started, so might as well capitalize on it.
Yes, yeah. And then, we were talking about an interesting statistic, and this probably is not you, Patrick, but a lot of men will wait till maybe December 20th to get a gift for their wife, maybe. So,
I've been known. Yeah, yeah.
maybe. So what you could do though is have almost like a registry of, when the women are coming in, they're buying gifts of where they can leave either, their name and email and then their husband's contact information, and whether it's a gift card or if they're picking out specific things, that's solving a problem, because the guy's got to buy a gift for his wife, for his mom, for his sister. And if he already knows it's ready, and you are able to contact him, like I said, through email, she gives you that information. You could say, hey, your wife picked out some things here. If you would like them, we can wrap them up for you. All you have to do is come by, pick them up. I mean, that's just a no-brainer. So that also builds out that relationship for later. So then I've seen some people do like a bourbon and beer night, depending on your alcohol laws in your area, where it's for the men to come in and shop. And so the women fill out almost a registry before of things they would like. And then the guys come in, pay for the gift. It's already done. They can sit there, have a drink, kick up for a little bit, and then go home, So that's another good one. Don't just think about your usual customer. Think about everybody involved in her touch points or his touch points.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. A lot of event concepts and ideas that we can do around Pink Friday, and get people shopping in the store before Black Friday, before Small Business Saturday, really kind of jumpstart those sales.
Yes, yeah. It's an exciting time of year. It's a good time to get creative, to try new things. If you wanted to try, like I said, those bundles, or maybe you haven't ever done a loyalty program, this is a good time to try that and to start too, where they can build up, loyalty bucks or points or some kind of thing with you that they could redeem in the new year, and that brings them back. Just, I would say too, it's included in the kit, but thinking about these connections that you're making now, this is not just to get us across the line on December 31st. This is that relationship that's going to basically, it's like a funnel. We're building into the success for next year. And so as we're having these events and these memories built with them, then we're going to use that to really slingshot us into that beginning of that new year and have a strong start. Yeah, it's exciting. These are, great things.
Oh,
yeah. Having a community together makes it better. In the Pink Friday Toolbox too, it does link to a Pinterest board where we have gone and pinned what our other stores that have participated for years have done. So that's neat to see.
Yeah.
Even like window displays, if you paint your windows, what does the decor on the outside of the store look like? What are we doing inside the store to merchandise it and make it exciting? We really wanted to make it, like we said, a done for you solution where you literally download it, follow the steps of the plan, you got your partner with Heart on Main and the Boutique Hub up by your side, and then it's a successful event for you.
Yeah, love that. So if you're like, yeah, I want to sign up, but I don't even know where to begin. Look at other people's pictures, see what they've done, see what's been successful, what you like out of there, and tackle what you can, right? Because we want to be able to accomplish what we can. So
yes, yeah. And say step one, sign up. That's all you got to do.
perfect.
Yes.
I am not seeing any questions come in, so sounds like you answered them all.
Okay.
As I say that, then the Q&A red dot pops up. I missed the first part of the show. How do we get the kit? Do you want to give the website again for them?
Yes, yeah. And I would say, yes, I'll grab that from the link. Let me grab that and I can put that in the chat. And yes, it's on the Boutique Hub. So right when you sign up, what you're going to get is it will, have you enter your, there we go, that's the right one, name and email address, and then it will open up the window right away. So the kit opens up right away. You will also get an email with a link to the kit. Because if you're like me, I got really excited and opened the kit and started doing these things. And then at the end of the day, I went through and closed all my tabs. And I was like, where did it go? Oh. So just know you do get an email confirmation. And I would just save that email because you're probably not going to digest that entire kit in one sitting. It's one of those things you're kind of unpacking pieces. So make sure, like I said, that you watch out for that email. You can share that email with people on your team. They can access the kit. We want, like we said, tell your neighbors about it. I see somebody says sharing with our merchants and stakeholders. Tell everybody, the more that we can really, like I said, shine a light on this event, it shines it on all of us. And I'd say on a personal note, my goal is to get this event on the Today Show. So if any of you have any relationships with people in PR, or maybe your brother works for the Today Show, please tell him.
Love that.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, yeah, so put the link there. So theboutiquehub.com/Pink Friday. And I think we'll wrap up on that. So thank you, Samantha, for being here today. I'm so excited about Pink Friday, so excited about fourth quarter shopping and holiday season. I hope it's great for all of our retailers and all of our communities out there.
Yes. It's our time to shine. Let's go.
Thank you very much for being on today. I appreciate it, Samantha. Take care, everybody.
All right. Bye.